What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today, my hair is kind of crappy. I don't know. Today I'm going over I guess you could call it build that I've done. It's a slightly modified Shadow Systems MR920. And if you're new to my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Please hit the subscribe button. I've got a lot of gear reviews on deck for the near future, and I'm super excited to take a closer look at various firearm accessories, various guns, and other things that go along with that. Here's a gun. It is clear and stiff. Holy cow. So if you're not familiar with the Shadow Systems MR920, this is just a Gucci'd Glock, kind of a Glock clone with some aftermarket upgrades done to it. And that includes, but is not limited to, a flared mag well that comes with it, upgraded trigger, slide beveling and serrations, and lightning cuts, as well as a groundbreaking patented optics mounting system or solution to a lot of problems. Upgraded sights, some of them come with red dots. It's got a better magazine release button. It has an extended beaver tail. It has some really modular grip thickness options that you can stick in there. That sounded really bad. And it comes with a very nice Shadow Systems match grade barrel, which I believe Terran Tactical is a huge fan of the Shadow Systems barrels, which is saying something because he is one that is known in the industry to obsess over performance. And so I'd like to talk to you guys about what I have done to this gun today, show you some of the things that I have done to personalize it as well as upgrade it and the reasons behind that. So I am obsessed with having a gun that is going to be unique to me and that you'd be hard pressed to find someone else who has the exact same setup as me. Now I'm sure that there are some people out there with the same guns as me, the same exact upgrades as me, but I just like to feel like I'm a special snowflake. So starting off, what I've added to this gun that you can't see on the outside is a Ghost Ink 3.5 trigger connector. And so what this does is it reduces the trigger pull by a couple pounds. I haven't really noticed the difference yet, but yeah, that might be because Shadow Systems comes with a really good trigger out of the box. But maybe I have yet to break this trigger in. I've only put a few hundred rounds in after installing it. One thing that I kind of regret doing, but then it ended up working out for me okay, is I sawed my barrel. I took a hacksaw and I cut off the threads on my barrel. So it started off as a threaded barrel. If you can see here, there is some space in between the comp and the barrel. I just sawed that off because it used to be threaded. And then I took a large brass screw and then I created some crowning in there so that accuracy wouldn't be degraded. And luckily, my accuracy and I guess my range has been decreased because I took inches off the barrel, but my accuracy has remained the same and I am able to put some pretty tight groups on paper. Now, unfortunately, I sawed off too much of the barrel. So standard Glock barrels stick out a little bit past the slide, and for mine, it recesses slightly into the slide. And I thought that that was enough of an aesthetic hit that I didn't want that to be showing. I didn't want people to see that part, and I thought it was kind of ugly. So I wanted to cover up that mistake with a compensator. But I knew I didn't want to get another threaded barrel because that's an extra 250 bucks. Although I do have some compensators lying around that I could use to screw onto that barrel. So what I did is I went with the Strike Industries mass driver compensator, which I'm planning on doing a specific review of later down the road. And I have shot this, and now I have put rounds downrange with this on, and it is very interesting. It reduces recoil a lot more than a standard compensator does. And I believe the reason is because when you shoot, Strike Industries, for some context, came out with a compensator that mounts to the guide rod, and it's integrated with the guide rod system. And so this makes it legal to have a compensator in any state, because there are some states that don't allow you to have threaded barrels on handguns, which is a really odd law, but this provides a nice workaround for those states. And now, so what it does is the reason why it's called the mass driver is because it shoots mass forward, if you can see that, and then brings it back using a spring system. And so this kind of counterbalances out recoil and kind of counterbalances muzzle flip because it's launching some weight forward, thus fighting the uprising of the muzzle each time you pull the trigger and it goes bang. And in harmony with that, it does have some ports on the sides and kind of on the diagonal areas of it, which expel gases outwards and upwards, also reducing recoil. So it is kind of like a two-part hybrid system that combines the best of both worlds when it comes to physics and reducing recoil, and it works amazing. Like I'm impressed with it. The only downside of it is a little bit extra. It's a little bit longer than most compensators. So I think it's about 1.5 inches maybe, whereas your typical compensator would end kind of where that first port on the Strike Industries mass driver begins. And so this can lead, if you carry appendix, it can kind of poke around in some uncomfortable places. And then an additional thing that can be a point of concern is towards the bottom of the comp, it kind of widens out. I don't know why it does that, but it can get caught in holsters, although with my Tier 1 concealed holster, it has an open bottom, and for some reason that one doesn't get caught on this comp, but all of my other Glock 19 holsters, it kind of gets hung up on as I'm trying to draw the pistol out and present, which is not ideal. So that is that upgrade. I really like it. One other thing I did is Jaegerworks. I sent this slide off to get milled by them. I wanted a top window cut, and so Shadow Systems does not provide that out of the box. Out of the box, it's just fully closed up with some serrations on it, which it looks nice, but I'm kind of obsessed with top window cuts. And I think part of that derives from an obsession to create as close to a John Wick replica blaster as possible without having to buy the Terran Tactical Combat Master packages and spend like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on those guns. And so in the movie, he uses a bronze barrel as well as a Glock 34 with lightning cuts on the sides and the top. And so I just wanted that top window cut. And Jaegerworks said they could do it for me. So sent this off, got that cut for about 20 bucks. And then I got the slide re-nitrided for about 50 bucks. So a $70 upgrade only for aesthetics purely. It has no functional use at all. In fact, it could be argued that it decreases reliability because it reduces the mass of the slide, therefore messing with the harmony of the parts, you know, with the springs and the spring weight, what slide mass they've been kind of calibrated and set up to run reliably. So I guess there is that, but I haven't run into any issues except for sometimes if I pull the slide back a little bit too far, the opening here can kind of get caught on the actual barrel, and then I kind of have to slam it into battery. But I've never had an issue with live fire. That's only like if I'm manipulating the weapon oddly. And this is my range toy slash could be home defense gun. I have a better gun, in my opinion, for home defense. So I'm not really putting my life out on the line for this pistol. Next upgrade is the Olight PL Mini and Mini 2. And so this is kind of a POS light. I really don't love that I have it. It was affordable. Although Streamlight would have been only like maybe 30, 40 bucks more. Yeah, I don't know why I got this. I really don't. I've had some pretty bad luck with it. I previously had two, but one of them actually, I put it on the top rail section of an AR-15. That went outside, did some steel shooting, and then looked down at my AR, and the mounting system was on it. So this bracket was on my AR, perfectly fine. But the light was gone, and the latch was still clamped down. So the light literally just flew off while the latch was tightened. And that might have been just a quality control issue, but yeah, there goes my light. So that goes to reinforce the idea of buy once, cry once, because you might have to buy twice if you go cheap. I used to have a red dot on this gun, but I took it off because I kind of want a gun with irons. And so my carry gun has a red dot optic on it, but I would like to still be able to practice with irons, even though I don't carry with them. I think it's a useful skill to have, and I think there's a definite reason to be a proficient shooter with irons and with RDSs. All in all, the MR920 ran me $1,000, and these upgrades that I put into it are an additional about like $250, $275. So not that bad. Really not that bad when you consider the expense that it would be to do all of these changes. Oh, last thing I forgot to talk about, I did a custom stipple job on this, just using my Dremel as well as my wood burning tool. And so I don't know if you can see it all that well, but I did an okay job. Modeled it after the Terran Tactical Combat stippling package. Just some basic dots. One thing I would warn you against with doing your own homemade DIY stippling jobs is to not go too aggressively, because I have noticed that with appendix carry, it can kind of literally tear micro holes in your shirt. When I say micro, they're not all that micro because you can totally see through them. But so that's a problem I ran into, which is why I put Talon rubber grips on my carry gun so I can hopefully prevent ruining the shirts that I wear every day. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this video. Let me know what you think about this nice little customized firearm that I made here. And Shadow Systems is a great company, really reliable gun. I want to fully review the gun itself, the MR920, later on in a different video, as well as comparing it to the Glock 19 Gen 3 and seeing which one is a better bang for your buck. Let me know if you guys are interested in some of that content. Please feel free to subscribe and share this video with your friends, and we'll see you in the next video.